Hello everyone, this is Lam here. In today's video, we're going to be looking at one of Anker's new power bank systems. This particular one has their PD technology, power delivery technology, which is very interesting because it's capable of powering some of the Fuji cameras, specifically the XT3 and the XH1. It's also got a large enough capacity to where it can actually power up a complete MacBook for one full charge. So it's a very versatile system. Let's go ahead and unbox it and take a look at it. So as you can see right here, they have a nice little pouch that you can actually store your power bank. I very rarely use these, but these pouches are actually pretty valuable for storing wires and whatnot, so I actually keep them just for a different purpose. So here is the power bank right here. As you can see, it's quite long, but it's also quite thin. So if you're going to have to snug it into your backpack or whatever bag you're using it, it should fit pretty nicely. There is a button right here, which will show you the power level. It doesn't look like there's a charge on this one, so we're definitely going to have to charge it up. At one end of the power bank, as you can see, there's a USB 3 and then there is the new USB-C. So this is for your traditional devices and this is for your new devices. This is the one that has the new power delivery system. So this is something that is going to require a lot more power. This particular one can support up to 5 volts, 9 volts, 15 and 20 volts. So the delivery system on this is quite good, but you do have to pay for it. On the other side, there is the warning labels, but there's nothing to it. And that is the entire battery bank right here. Also included into this pack is 2 cables. So let's go ahead, open it up. So we have a USB 3 to a micro USB cable. And this right here is a USB-C to a USB-C. And the last device that it comes with is the AC power to USB-C. So this is their newer device. I actually have one of their older ones. So this is one of their older ones in which it's AC power to USB 3. This particular one though is going to USB-C. So it's probably going to be able to charge the battery bank and any USB-C device a lot quicker. I'm going to go ahead and try to connect this one directly to my MacBook to see if it actually charges well. Because if it does, then what I'm going to do is I'm going to carry this over my traditional MacBook AC power because it's just going to be a lot more portable. So I went ahead and just plugged in the AC power and I'm starting to charge my battery. As you can see, when it's delivered to you, there's very little charge to it. So in the manual, it says it takes about 4 hours to charge up. I'm going to go ahead, charge it up, and then test it against my MacBook and also my Fuji camera right here to see how well this battery bank works. Now, while this device is charging up, one thing I do want to say is that just feeling this battery, this feels like a very solid battery. The plastic feels very strong. I know I have a lot of battery banks, and I'm pretty sure everybody does at this point, but this is a very solid, well-constructed battery, so I think it's going to hold up well, but only time will tell. One test that I really quickly wanted to do was I went ahead and plugged up the battery pack to my MacBook Pro, and I went ahead and have a YouTube video running. This kind of simulates daily use. I wanted to see if the battery pack can actually keep up with just daily consumption. And I've been running this for about 10 minutes. I started off with 31% battery life and it's gone up to 32%. So over 10 minutes, it's gained 1% of battery life. So overall, that's actually pretty promising. It means that if I go ahead, plug in the battery pack, it should keep my MacBook Pro running even while I'm using it for small tasks, right? It's not going to do it obviously for things like producing or editing a video, but if I needed to keep the MacBook Pro running when it's low on power, it looks like this battery pack will do it. And it looks like it'll continue to gain a little bit of power. And of course, if it's actually shut off, it should charge pretty quickly. So one last test that I wanted to do real quick was that I actually wanted to plug up the 30-watt power supply to my MacBook Pro. Again, I'm running a YouTube video to kind of simulate daily use, and to my surprise, it actually is charging the MacBook Pro. It's been about 7 minutes and it's actually gone up about 1%. So that's super nice to know. So that means I actually have 2 forms of power. I can use the wall outlet, charge it via USB-C, or I can use the battery bank. Now, if there's one downside to this battery kit, it's definitely going to be the price. It is fairly pricey at about $100. I was lucky to get this on sale, But at $100, it's still a fairly good deal. If you figure this usually sells for $30 by itself, it produces about 30 watts of power, which is fairly good for a lot of your power-hungry USB-C equipment. Now, having said that, this MacBook Pro right here, it produces 87 watts, and this only produces 30 watts, so it's definitely not going to replace some of your battery adapters for your computers or things like that, but it would make a nice backup unit. The battery pack itself, this would probably be worth $70, so it's definitely on the pricier end for battery packs. But since it has a USB-C output and it is producing about 24 watts of power, it's definitely going to be helping out for cameras and also my MacBook Pro. So I think it's worth it overall, but I definitely would want to pick this up when it's on sale. And with the Christmas season coming up, you might be able to find it. If you are in the market for a battery bank, definitely check this out. It's a very flexible tool. I know for myself, this is going to replace a lot of battery banks that I'm using, so I'm really happy about that. But it's still a little bit pricey, so you're going to have to figure out your pros and cons with this. I hope you found this video useful. Let me know if there's anything that you want me to answer, and until next time, thank you so much for watching.